couple of words on creating notes for DXF profiles. If you ever send out DXF drawings for laser cut, water cut, whatever, to your own manufacturer department or to someone else, you may want to put a note on your drawing when you export the drawing to DXF. Typically, my notes have the part number, material, quantity, and thickness. And I've created a drawing where I have the assembly views and one of the parts, because some companies like to create separate drawings for each part. Some companies like to create an assembly and a couple of view of the parts, either on the same sheet or on separate sheets. This is the same part that I have here. And we want to create the note. I like to create it as a symbol. That way I can reuse it. I can point it to any element in the assembly, any part from the assembly, or I can call it on any drawing. So let's open this part. The first thing you want to do is expose the thickness parameter. So we want to export it. And this just creates a custom parameter called thickness. So that's kind of solved. We can get this into our drawing. Now what I like to add is quantity as well, because the quantity is done per project. We don't tend to reuse parts on different projects, and if we do, we usually rename them, or we are putting the new quantity in every time. We're checking the quantity. Otherwise, if you're reusing parts, then I would not suggest that you use quantity on the note. Anyway, how do we get the quantity? Well, we can do it in two separate ways. We can add a custom parameter called, I don't know, project quantity or something like that in each and every part, or we can do it straight from the assembly. Suppose this is my master assembly, I mean the project assembly. Yeah, there's no level above this. Then you would go to bill of material and you want to get custom iProperty columns. One of them would be thickness, and the other one, I'm going to call it project, so PJ quantity. Because thickness is already exposed in this part, it's bringing in the thickness already. But if I'll choose another part, you'll see that there are no custom parameters. So for all the new sheet metal parts, you may want to expose the thickness. There is one. You see how this has been done. Oh, this is an assembly. Right? You may want to expose it, or you do this on the template, and for the new parts you will have the thickness come as a custom iProperty already. Put this down. Let's go back to our bill of materials. Now you're going to see, but how do you get the quantity in? Well, supposedly this is the main assembly that you're having here. I like to go to parts only, and you enable it if it's been disabled. This way it promotes all the parts, and I'm looking just at the parts. I'm not going to make a DXF for an assembly. It's usually a part that has a DXF. And now that I have my project quantity in here, I need to bring in item quantity. So you want to bring in item quantity, and then very easily you just select it all, just like in Excel, and then you drag from the lower right corner, and everything gets copied over. Let's try it out. And even if the parts didn't have this custom eye property, it gets created on the fly. Let's go back to bill of materials, and you can do the same with revision. I sometimes like to do that, copy the revision, or the project, if you ever use the project. I don't know, you maybe have a description, or maybe you have a number, like you can copy and paste, or you can just use drag, and all of them will have project and revision. So now I have quantity, thickness. I just need to get material and part number. Let's go to our drawing, and we're gonna create a new symbol. Gonna have a bit of text. So the first gonna be part number, properties, model, part number. Next is gonna be material, now as you will see, there are no custom properties from the model. So thickness and quantity cannot be called at the moment, but let's just finish with the symbol creation. We're gonna call it laser, well, DXF, because you may do laser, water cut, plasma, whatever. And now I have it, and let's just insert it. I'll insert, or just double click, it'll do the same, and just choose an edge, just like you would do with balloons. Yeah, finish, just drag it out of the way. And now if you right click, edit definition, because we pointed the symbol to an existing geometry, we have now exposed the custom properties from the model. So we can get thickness, and we can get project quantity. So these were not available because the symbol kind of looks at the drawing, but once we linked it to a geometry, to a view, we have exposed whatever custom eye properties were in that part. Save it, yes. And now, as you can see, I have the thickness and the quantity. One thing that I like to do is take the ladder out. I mean, if I move it, I can move it around and it's still linked. Yeah, but you will not see it. So it's kind of underneath the view. Now, if you move the view, it'll move with the view. It'll be static, but there's no ladder. Now let's go back to the main sheet, and let's try and use that again. Kind of done. That's there. I go to annotate symbols user, because this way that's better. can drag it out of the way. Maybe have it underneath. Yeah. I don't like that. Now I can copy, Control C, paste, link it to the other part. Well, in this case, I might want to have another one. There's no thickness because thickness has not been exposed. Let's mark it for export. Now what happens if I change the thickness, say 5 millimeters? Let's go back. And it's updated. So this way you don't have to manually update it. Let's go back to the part, change the quantity. Let's say project quantity, that'll be 20. Save, go back. Yes. And they're all there. And this is how I do the XF nodes for everything that needs to be cut out.